Let's get some more here. And France is hosting and presiding the 21st session of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change from November 30 to December 11, 2015. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change negotiations are nearing an important milestone with the post-2020 Global Climate Agreement scheduled to be negotiated. This afternoon, I do have in the studio McDonald Bubuama, Communications Consultant, Religious Bodies Network on Climate Change, and we're looking at the role these bodies can play to educate persons or Ghanaians on climate change and even their congregants on climate change. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Thanks for your time.
Welcome.
Now, your organization has been working together with the Institute of Environment and Sanitation, University of Ghana, and also the French Embassy on climate change. Now, does this group see climate change as a reality or something that has to do with spirituality?
Yeah, to be frank with you, we see climate change as a matter of reality. We are in tune with climate scientists. And I don't think seeing climate change as a spiritual matter will even help our constituents, our congregants that we try to sensitize on the effects of climate change.
I'm asking because when these religious organizations they don't even probably concentrate on climate change, and for them it's not really a big situation. That's the reason why I'm asking, how does it work hand in hand?
Yes, in actual fact, we believe on issues of conservation. Religious bodies are just like any other persons. For instance, you and I belong to one faith or the other, and the tenets of our faith show us to learn how to conserve the natural resources and creation.
And our church groups, yes, you have an organization.
Yes.
Are church groups helping the fight against climate change? How are they doing? Is it that I see you with some flyers here in the studio, but is it that they have to preach every Sunday morning, or how do they go about it?
Yeah, to be frank with you, churches constituting the religious bodies network on climate change already have their social interventions. When you go to the religious EP church, for instance, we have the EP development relief agencies, for which they are already in mitigation and adaptation initiatives, tree planting, agriculture, seed development, and others. The Catholic Church have the same, Assemblies of God have the same, and many other churches that belong to the religious bodies and network on climate change. And we do have workshops to build capacity of our members. Religious bodies network on climate change early this year organized a national workshop for pastors, imams, catechists, and relevant and the elders to build their capacities on adaptation issues.
Now, on adaptation issues and the roles you're playing, which you've briefly touched on. For example, there are farmers in these churches. Yeah. Aside holding these workshops and the ones you've touched on early on, how is a farmer going to be supported? Either in the mosque, in the church, or wherever they find themselves in a religious group, and how are they going to be assisted by your organization?
Yeah, for Rebonet, we do have financial support to give to our members, but like I said earlier, the various organizations or the church bodies have their own interventions.
Meaning that if they're not part of the group, they're left out?
They are not left out. We've made provisions for them that, this church, bring your plans. How do you intend supporting your churches? Okay. So for the EP church, for instance, we have developed seeds for that's maize, cassava, and other materials that we give to our members who are engaged in small-scale farming.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. I have been speaking with McDonald Bubuama. He is the Communications Consultant, Religious Bodies Network on Climate Change, and we're looking at the role such a body can play to help educate Ghanaians and all affected by climate change through their organization.